Okay, folks, I know that sometimes you like people to explain things to you instead of have to read it. So most of this is already explained to you on Google Classrooms, but I'm going to kind of go through it with you. So you're going to make the language portion of your travel brochure. Now, here's the good news. You've already done it. If you've done the assignments I've given so far, you've already done it. So let me show you. You have done a description of Sydney. You have done a description of a natural location, and you have done a description of a large city in the U.S. or Canada, North America. So I want you to use what you've already written and also what I gave you. That's fine to do also, to take your cities, put in the information that's important to your cities, and take out the information. So for example, let's say you're talking about Chicago. You don't need to talk about the Sears Tower or the Navy Pier. Change it instead to Frankfurt and put in the things about Frankfurt that are important. I gave you a small city, Sydney. I gave you a large city, and I gave you a natural location. You can put those together as you need to. Okay. For the travel brochure, you need to have some information. You need to have 7 pictures of man-made landmarks, 2 of natural landmarks, 1 picture of a food item, 1 picture of a sport or team, 1 thing that's relevant to locations, a map, that's relevant to locations, a flag or a symbol. Now, that's 7, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. What is that? 12 pictures that you need to have total. That doesn't mean you need to have 12 pictures for each city. That's 12 pictures total. And I'm not going to be picky if you have one location has more natural landmarks and more man-made landmarks. You're going to be okay. I do want you to have the food item, the sport or team, the map, and the flag. I think those are pretty important. You want to have those in mind before you do the writing, just so that you mention all of those things. So when you do the writing, for each location, you need to have a general description of the city, mention a natural landmark and a man-made landmark, mention a food item, a sports team, flag, or other interesting part of the city. Okay? So that's not and, that's or. You do not need a sport, food, map, and flag for each city. You just need 1 throughout the entire brochure. We're not putting the brochure together yet. We're just doing the language components. Okay, so on the assignment, I want you to just go ahead and put those right there, 1 for each city. And this is going to be kind of like when we did the resumes, where I'm going to look at it, I will give you feedback, and then we'll kind of bounce back and forth between those over the course of the next week. I would like you to have this portion, the first draft, ready for Monday. And that's pretty much all I'm going to give you between now and Monday. And then we'll do some editing and things like that. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I've had a lot of you that have said, hey, I'm confused here, and you contacted me via Remind or Facebook, and that's worked out, I think, pretty well. So if you have questions, feel free to ask, and I will help you as much as I can. I hope you've learned some things about some German cities, and this is something that you've enjoyed somewhat. I miss y'all, and I'll see you soon.